on?
I don't think we can see comments or anything like this. Woo! Hello, world.
Hello, world.
Oh, big round of applause.
Mm-hmm.
Why such a big round of applause?
Well, because it's Awareness Day for mental health issues, and we really need to talk about this stuff. So we're super stoked to be here with you guys. Hello, I'm Victoria.
And I'm Cassie.
Nice to see you all again and be here with you as we speak to a very important topic today, and that is around mental health and how that relates to creating a better world.
Yeah, it's so beautiful because we've been wanting to jump on and kind of go back to the basics and to who we are and why we do the work that we do and what is the work that we do. And to have it be Bell Mental Health Day today is just perfect because this is the world we live in. Is the two of us, this is the world we live in, is holding space for people to release things, release thoughts, release patterns, release emotions that are stored in the body that are preventing us from living a full life, from feeling good and from having energy and from showing up as the true self that we are, because when we have all of that stuff in the way, it really clouds our lives and how we move through the world.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's so important, to be able to clean up our shops, clean up our internal environment so that we can live a more true, authentic life. And yeah, so we really wanted to come on today to speak about that and why we got into this work in the first place. It was just such a deep calling for both of us, a deep recognition that something wasn't quite right on this earth. And we're here to make a change. We're here to make a difference. And we're here to help people do that while we help ourselves as well. So I really like to say that we're all in this together and we're kind of all leading each other to, I feel, creating a better earth. And a new earth, a place where we can all live together in harmony and in love and supporting one another and in connection and, release the ways that we have been being more in competition with one another and kind of like fighting for things and trying to get bigger and better and more of an independent life where there is more of that, competition happening back and forth. And so when we come back into ourselves and we clear the memories from the past and the trauma and the pain and, really feel it so that we can clear it out of our systems, then we can start to really relate to one another and become connected to one another so that we can work together in harmony and unity. And that's how we create this new world that I think all of us are really wanting to call in.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys or you, but I'm kind of tired of, the chaos and the pain that I see out there. It's really challenging to see. And so it's up to us as individuals, to come back into ourselves and look after our own mental health so that we can create a beautiful earth together.
Yeah, beautiful to speak to that. And right now, one of the huge things that's happening is loneliness and this feeling of loneliness from being isolated. And for a lot of us, it's been challenging to navigate that. So I think this is just the perfect time to come out and really speak to it and share that we all go through some form of this in one way or another, and we all have these things deep inside us, like emotions really and memories really get stored in our cells, in our bodies. And it's not until we can open that to release, to allow these things to move through us and be released, that we can be free of them.
Yeah. It's kind of a gift that this time is. It's been so challenging, I think, for so many of us, and I think all of us have gone through huge challenges which really help us grow. But what I find is really being highlighted is exactly what you're just sharing about, is that loneliness and that isolation, that separation, all those feelings of being disconnected. And, that's happened as a result of things in the outside environment, but it's really highlighting what's going on inside. And so when we have like a bunch of emotions that we haven't felt, we tend to stuff them down, as we've spoken about a few times. And when we do that, we become disconnected from ourselves because there's so much in the way of, we have this, energy usually moving through our system, which is connecting us to ourselves and to the earth and to the universe. And when it's unobstructed, when there's not emotions in the way, it's flowing with ease, and then we're connected, we feel safe, we feel secure, we feel like we have vitality, and we can create whatever we want to create. But when there's a lot in the way, like a lot of pain or anger or sadness, depression, whatever it might be that we're holding on to, then we're literally disconnected from that energy source. And it's like flow, right? And so then that ends up making us feel disconnected from ourselves and from each other.
Yeah.
And that's when we start to create all sorts of crazy things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you said we're holding on to it. And that doesn't mean that we're consciously holding on to it. No one consciously chooses to be in pain, to be feeling these things that feel so hard. But it's our bodies and our subconscious that hold on to these things. And that's where we can really come in, and through healing work, many different types of healing work are out there that are just beautiful. But with the healing work that we do, it's just incredible to see someone come in and, maybe feel a little anxious, maybe feel stressed, maybe feel the need to control everything and everyone in their lives to feel safe. And then to allow that to be released through bioenergy sessions in particular. It's just... Yeah, it's such a gift, and it's the most important thing on the planet right now.
Yeah.
Like the most.
Totally.
And so we're super happy that there's awareness around that today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you just said that. Like, it's the most important work. It really, truly is. And I'm finally in a place, I think we're both finding a place where we can actually stand here and say that, this is the most important work that we can do. Because when we don't, and we're holding on to stuff, subconsciously holding on to things, we're creating pain on the outside. If we have pain inside that we haven't felt and released and taken care of within ourselves, we tend to project that outward and then create pain outside. And so we put each other in pain, and create all sorts of issues in our relationships, and that separates us from one another. Yeah. And so when we release these emotions from our field, when we accept them into ourselves and love them free, basically with no judgment, we're here to be open vessels, judgment free, and allowing all these feelings to come up, because hey, that's what the magic is in that, when we allow it to come up and move through. And then when it's out of the way, we're more connected, and so we can connect to each other without the garbage in the way, without projecting onto one another. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, how's it changed your life? Like, how has this work changed your life? What has it done for you?
It's been everything. I mean, before I started doing this work, I don't even know if I was aware that I was disconnected from the people in my life, that, it would be all so much surface level conversation in my life as I moved throughout my days, and really taking all of that pain, whatever type of pain I was feeling, and internalizing it and keeping it in here and being like this, being guarded, but wasn't even really aware that I was doing it, because it's how most of us have just been taught to move throughout our lives. And so doing this work has allowed me to clear so much past emotion, so much past pain, like countless experiences growing up in my childhood where I may have felt not good enough, or where I may have felt sad or scared, that I wasn't fully able to feel and process at the time. Because when we're children, we tend to do that. We don't want to be too big, too sad, too this, too that. We don't want to express our anger because we might get in trouble. And so all of that just keeps getting stuffed down. And for me, opening this door was just so life-changing. And what it's allowed me now is to feel things when they come up in the moment, and feel them fully, and allow them to move through so they don't get stuck in the body. And I just feel my body feels lighter, I feel lighter, there's space in my mind now. And when someone is speaking, I'm just listening. Like, I'm not even thinking about what I'm going to say back to you, which is just such the biggest gift that we can give each other, and really being present with one another. And then the words just come. Whatever needs to be spoken just comes, because the mental clutter has been cleared. And I think that God, there's so many benefits, but that's probably like the biggest thing, is to not not always be up here overthinking everything, always being critical, always judging myself, judging you, judging everybody else. And just just once.
I'm gonna judge you for judging you.
And that's also the beautiful thing about doing this healing work and being around people who have also done that work, is that we can, if a judgment comes up, we can be like, hey, I just felt this judgment. It's not truly who I am. It's not truly me. This thought came, and we can just laugh about it. Like yesterday, you were saying something. You were like, oh, I just judged you. I'm sorry. I didn't really mean it. And then it's gone. Then it like moves through. It's like every moment is a fresh moment. No matter what comes up, every moment is a fresh moment. And, it's improved all of my relationships. Like, I used to get so irritated with my parents. They're being too protective. They're not around enough. They're this, they're that. And there was just always something to bother me. And it's like over the last few years that all of that has totally dissolved from doing this work. And I'm able to just really appreciate them and connect with them and see them, even if we have differing beliefs on some pretty important topics, possibly, just to see them through it and to just love them through it anyway. And then what a gift to give to each other. Like, that's what's missing in the world. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you for that share. Oh, and I love, like you said, we can joke around about judgment, judging each other now, because it just moves it through, and that gets us closer to one another because there's honesty there. It's not like I'm hiding the judgment and then it's awkward and uncomfortable between the two of us because there's this judgment in between us, right? We speak to it, it flows out. I'm wearing gloves, it's a little chilly. We speak to it and then it flows through and then we're closer. And it's like, damn, I love you because you just said that. And now I'm closer to you and I can trust you more because that thing is out of the way. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing. And I loved it also when you went like this, like when you said when the feelings were inside and you were like this. It's like, that's what happens when we have so many feelings within us. We do this because it's like, I don't want to be seen, because if people see me, they're going to see all my feelings. And those feelings just want to be seen so badly. They want to be felt because they've been stored in the body and accumulated for so long. And this is like centuries, guys. This isn't just like this lifetime, it's centuries. And as we do this healing work, we're healing ourselves, but we're also healing our lineage. And we're releasing patterns from our families. It's incredible.
Yeah. Great to speak to that too, is like some of the ways of being that we hold, we've just inherited from our families. And so to be able to clear that in ourselves and to clear the family line is like, there's just...
It's a huge gift.
It's such a gift.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I would love to hear from you.
Thank you. I was just going to start speaking it, but you asked. Thank you. I was like, is she going to ask or not? Anyways, this work for me, wow. It has released me from... I used to take things so personally. Like I used to take people's judgments on me, I thought, so personally because I had so much inside of me that I was judging within myself. So many emotions that wanted to be felt that I was afraid of, and I was judging myself for that. And so whenever anyone said something, I would take them personally, which had nothing to do with me, I'm realizing, is that everybody's going through their own unique process and everybody's got their own stuff going on for them. And when I recognize now that when someone's angry, it's not angry at me. There's anger inside of them that's coming out, and it just wants an expression. And before doing this work, I didn't know that. And so I thought I took that anger on, or if someone was sad or whatever, mad, upset, making me feel guilty, whatever it was, I thought it was because I had done something wrong. And so as we've done this work and learning about it, it's like seeing that all of us have something, and when we react or act out, it's because these emotions inside are expressing themselves. And so then I was able to really take a step back, and then for myself now, I allow people to be angry, and I don't let it affect me because that's their expression, and that's okay. I allow someone to be sad because, hey, that's their expression, that's okay. And then bringing it back to myself, I allow myself to be angry sometimes. I allow myself to be sad sometimes. I had some huge grief come up this morning, and now I celebrate it. Like I celebrate the fact that I'm crying because it's releasing something from my body that I've been holding on to. And so for myself, I've become a lot less judgmental on myself. And if I do judge myself, I forgive myself because that still happens. I'm not perfect. We're human. And yeah, I feel a lot more lighter and more free. And my relationship with my parents is amazing. I never thought that I would even say those words. I just love them to bits and pieces because they're just human and they're amazing. And so there's been so much forgiveness in my life for myself and then for the relationships that I have. And yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you. And what really stood out is seeing people past their flaws. You know, we're so quick to judge, and we're so quick to stay away from that person because they're this or they're that, or avoid this person when they're in that mood. This person has this flaw, that flaw. And really, it just allows us to be with anyone and to be in our own energy and to be strong in ourselves and to not take things personally. Such a, God, there's so many gifts.
So many gifts to this work. It really is everything. Yeah, and we're in charge, you guys. If we take responsibility for ourselves and for our mental health, well, it's really body, mind, spirit health, then we can create a really beautiful earth because we'll be more loving and kind towards one another. And when you spoke to the flaw just now, it's like, you know, this work helped me to recognize that I have flaws or whatever it is within me, right? And so when I realize that within myself, it's okay for someone else too. You know, I'm not judging someone else based on their stuff because I've gone through it myself. And that's such a huge gift. And then we can have close relationships like this.
Oh, and it allows for that, and it allows for this ability to not hold on so tightly to my beliefs and my perspectives. You know, we're sharing this with you because it's so important to us. And if you think we're crazy and have a totally different set of beliefs, it's all perfect. We love and respect that in each other. And that is one of the biggest things as well. Because right now there's so much tension and so much chaos and so much need to be right. And what if we're right for ourselves? What if we do what's right for us? And we don't have to try to control everyone out there.
Yeah, that just takes me back to childhood, you know, of the child that we're all these unique, amazing, creative beings, and we're so unique, which is what makes us special, right? And so I just think it's honoring that uniqueness, and a different perspective is just unique, and we're all kind of seeing, I feel like we're all seeing the world from slightly different viewpoints, right? Just slightly different viewpoints. So we're all going to have different perspectives. And I find it's really beautiful because we can learn more, you know, to be able to see through each other's eyes instead of being like, mine's more right than yours and yours is more wrong. It's like, hey, no, you be the expressive person you want to be, and I'm going to be quiet when I want to be, you know, whatever.
Yeah. It's so true. And we relate everything back to energy, and that's the language that we speak. That's the world that we live in. We're both bioenergy healing practitioners, and I've shared my story before, but basically I had 2 years where I was on and off crutches for the majority of the time, and I came into bioenergy healing just looking for some relief, looking for a miracle, essentially, and it brought me that miracle. You know, I was able to heal both my knees naturally and avoid any more surgeries and all of that, and it really was miraculous. But as we dive deeper into this work, we're really realizing, you know, it's the mental and emotional stuff that we're holding on to that is creating the chaos, and that is even contributing to physical ailments as well. But it's that is the juice of why we're here, is to be able to clear that out of the way so that we can just live. I look back and I don't know what I was doing before, but it wasn't living. It wasn't living each moment as a new moment, each day as a new day. It was bringing so much crap from the past along with me every single day, and seeing through that filter, that perspective.
Yeah, and almost living on a hamster wheel, right? Just in this around and round and round in circles. Oh man, that's what I grew tired of. And I remember thinking, wow, is this life? Is this what we do? You know, we grow up, we go to school, we get married, have children, get a job, work, retire, die. And I was like, no, this is not cool. And yeah, that really helped me to start to question things, and then found this world of energy healing and realized that there's so much more to this life, and that when we clear the way, we can start to see that, and we can start to see the magic that is really in life, and start to be able to create things more. Yeah, I also thought I wasn't creative for a long time because I was really disconnected, and so I wasn't able to create. And now that my energy is flowing a lot more, it's like I can create, and it's exciting, and I've got more confidence to create. And it's a journey, right? I'm still building confidence, and but it's all part of releasing the stuff that's in the way, the sadness, the anger, the grief, whatever, the shame, the guilt, the blame, all of it, so that we can be free to create a beautiful life and a beautiful world.
Yeah. Oh, I love this world, and really we've just been experiencing so many miraculous things since we've been in this world, and getting to work with clients one-on-one with energy healing, and we've started hosting women's retreats and women's circles, and we bring all of that in there as well, where it's a release. It's where you come to release this stuff that no longer serves you, that has been a pain in the butt your whole life, that you may not have even been consciously aware was there. And then it's like once you have a release like that, and you take in a deep breath of fresh air, it's the most liberating feeling ever. It's like, oh my God. It's like, okay, wow, this is living. Not what I was doing before. This is living. I'm alive.
Absolutely. Yeah, alive. Like that. Yeah. And coming together, why do we come together to do this? Why do we come together in groups or retreats? It's we need each other. We need each other to support one another. And when we work in groups and connect that way, we share our personal stories, we start to see things from different angles. And we see the different perspectives, which is a gift, because then we start to see ourselves more. And it's just so beautiful to come together with people and connect in that way, and feel safe to express these emotions and feelings or whatever it is, so that we can connect deeper to ourselves. And then when we connect deeper to ourselves, we can connect deeper to each other. And that is where the magic lies. That's where our earth needs to go, is we really need to connect. We really need to connect to ourselves, so that we can connect to each other, so that we can connect to the earth, so that we can respect the earth and we can respect each other. The time is now.
It's now.
It's now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, and that's why this message needs to come out. And if all it does is make you take a moment and just take a look at yourself and your life, and see what's working and see what might not be working so well. It's that awareness that is the first step in releasing and healing all of this stuff. It's huge. And as the times that we're in have shown us, we're all starting to wake up to that, to have more awareness of like, okay, wow, that's really not working. Things falling apart, things crumbling around us, relationships, jobs. Really, it's a huge time in humanity. It's the biggest time in humanity right now.
Yeah, it's time to purify. It's time to cleanse ourselves and release ourselves and free ourselves, so that we can create magic and create just the most fantastic, I keep saying it, create the best earth ever. Because we all deserve it, and we all deserve more love, all of us. So come with us if you feel like it, if you're inspired. We're going to be we are creating right now a course, an 8-week course that we will release soon, but for now we'll just leave it at that.
So exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. And please reach out to us if you feel the pull at all to learn a little bit about energy healing or experience a session where they're just getting more and more powerful, and people are releasing decades. I love what Josephine, one of our clients, recently said. She said, I feel like I'm releasing decades of patterns, and that's what happens. These things just dissolve and fall away when we do this work. So we would love to offer that to you, and we'll keep moving, and you'll keep moving, and we're here to support you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you're just feeling lonely or isolated or scared or disconnected, just come reach out to us, and we'd love to chat with you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we love you guys, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for watching. And comment down below if you feel like it.
Yeah, no pressure.
Let us know how this was.
Just comment down below. You must.
Okay,
All
bye.
right, bye.
And end